All right, let's talk about a word we hear all the time. You know the one? Innovation. It gets slapped on everything, right? New phones, new business plans, even new kinds of coffee. It's a buzzword that's so big it can feel like it means everything, and maybe, sometimes, nothing at all.
So today, we're going to peel back the layers. We're going way beyond the buzzword to actually build a mental map of what innovation truly is. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see it's not just one thing, it's a whole universe of different, amazing ideas.
To get our bearings, we need a solid foundation, and the best place to start is with a guide called the Oslo Manual. It breaks innovation down into 4 core types. Think of these as the 4 cardinal directions on our map of new ideas. It's where our journey begins.
Okay, first up is the one we all know, the one we can see and touch every single day, product innovation. This is your classic new gadget. It's either a totally brand new thing or a really significant, tangible improvement on something we already have.
And what's really cool is the range here. I mean, putting a camera in a phone, that was a total game changer. But you know what else is product innovation? Creating a new, more sustainable plastic. Or even a service like online banking that completely changed how we handle our money. It's all about changing the what.
Next up, we've got process innovation. Now, this is the stuff that happens behind the scenes. It's not about changing the product itself, but about revolutionizing how that product gets made or delivered to you. This is all about making things faster, cheaper, and just better.
Just picture a factory, right? Swapping out old, clunky tools for super precise laser cutters, that's process innovation. Or what about setting up a robotic arm to package goods way faster than any human could? It's the kind of change you don't really see, but you definitely feel it in the final product's quality or price.
So, you've got your awesome product, and you've got your efficient process. Now what? Well, you've got to sell it, and that brings us to marketing innovation. This is all about shaking up the way a product is designed, placed, promoted, or priced to connect with customers in a totally new way.
I mean, just think about the incredible shift here. 20 years ago, companies were all about TV ads and billboards. Today, they're creating viral TikTok challenges and building entire communities on Instagram. They didn't change the product, they changed the whole conversation around it. That is a massive marketing innovation.
And finally, our 4th cardinal direction, organizational innovation. This one is about changing the company itself, its structure, its daily practices, how it works with the outside world. It's about innovating the very blueprint of the business.
You see this when a company decides to outsource its entire IT department to focus on what it does best. Or when a business adopts a radical new management style that gets rid of traditional bosses. It's about re-engineering the whole corporate machine to make it run better.
Okay, so we've got our 4 core types. That's the what of innovation. But that's only half the story. See, innovation also comes in different sizes. So the next question we have to ask is, how big is the change, really?
The answer, of course, is a big no. Not every new idea is a world-shaking event. Innovation happens on a whole spectrum. Some changes are just small, steady steps forward, while others are these giant, earth-shattering leaps that change absolutely everything.
On one side, you have radical innovation. This is the super rare, revolutionary stuff, like the invention of cloud computing, which basically made physical servers in businesses obsolete overnight. But on the other side, and this is way more common, you have incremental innovation. These are the small, continuous tweaks. Think about the yearly updates to your smartphone that make the camera just a little bit better or the battery last 30 minutes longer.
And here's another really critical distinction. Sustaining innovation is all about making existing products better for the customers you already have. But disruptive innovation, whoa, that's a different beast. It usually starts by offering something simpler and cheaper that creates a whole new market. Just think about Uber and Airbnb. They didn't just compete with taxis and hotels, they created an entirely new way for us to think about getting around and finding a place to stay.
So, we know the what, and we know the how big, but where on earth do these ideas actually come from? Well, the answer to that question has changed a lot.
This quote from the economist Alfred Marshall, it was so far ahead of its time. For decades, the thinking was that big companies were the only source of innovation. But Marshall understood something really fundamental. Sometimes the person using the product knows best.
And this shift is absolutely crucial. The old way, the manufacturer-centric model, was totally top-down. Companies decided what you needed. But the new, user-centric model? It's bottom-up. It recognizes that everyday people are constantly tweaking and modifying products to fit their own needs, and that smart companies can learn from these lead users.
to create things people actually want to use.
Okay, now let's zoom out to our widest view yet. Because innovation isn't just about making money or coming up with cool gadgets. It can be, and it should be, a powerful force for solving some of the world's biggest challenges.
Take frugal innovation, for instance. This is such a brilliant concept, and it's born out of pure necessity. It's all about doing more with less, using limited resources in incredibly clever ways to create affordable, effective solutions for really complex problems. It's innovation for everyone.
And there is no better example of this than the Jaipur foot. Instead of a super high-tech, expensive prosthetic, it was designed using cheap, durable materials that were available right there. It has changed the lives of millions of people for a tiny fraction of the cost. Now that is innovation with a profound purpose.
And this powerful idea just keeps expanding. You have inclusive innovation, which makes sure to focus on groups of people who are often left behind. There's grassroots innovation, which empowers communities to solve their own problems. And responsible innovation, which challenges us all to think about the ethical and environmental consequences of our ideas before we even start building.
So, we've traveled from a simple, overused buzzword to this complex and honestly fascinating universe of different kinds of change. Let's just quickly recap the map we've built together.
We started with the what, those 4 core types. Then we looked at the how big, from tiny little steps to giant world-changing leaps. We explored the who, that massive shift from the company to the consumer. And finally, we saw the why, innovation driven by a much greater purpose. These aren't just separate boxes. They're all dimensions of the same rich, amazing concept.
And that leaves us with one last thought. If innovation can be a tiny process change in a factory, a clever modification by a user, or a low-cost solution from a small community, well, that means it can happen anywhere and be created by anyone. So the real question isn't just what innovation is, but where will we choose to look for it next?